in my mind, whether it's a quick leaving, sudden leaving that's tragic suffering, or whether it's not, no. You know, I think so much of life, in addition to what you just said, is God has positioned us where He just drives us into trusting Him more. And He's wedging our circumstances in a fashion that we have a choice to either pull back or push in. And the pushing in is really trusting Him on a deeper level. And it gets back to being the sign God came to be here, and we don't have a guarantee that it's going to turn out great. But we've been given a source, and we've been called into a deeper relationship and a deeper trust.
Do you have something to add to your question?
Yeah. One Bible story that I think is an interesting story of leave-taking is when I think Jesus had been doing a lot of preaching, and he was pretty exhausted by the crowds that kept following him. And so I think there's a story where he and the disciples get into a boat at nighttime, doing a nighttime crossing, and a terrible storm comes up, and the disciples are getting swamped. And Jesus is in the front of the boat sleeping. And they ask him, don't you even care that we're about to die here? And he rebukes, there's two different versions of the story. In one version, he rebukes the winds and says, you know, be still. In a different version of the story, I don't think he just says be still. And you can't tell whether he's talking to the winds or to the disciples who are panicking. So what it reminds me about leave-taking is that you know, you sometimes wonder what's going to be on the other side of that lake, and you think you're getting to a calmer spot. But there could be a storm that comes up just right when you think you're taking leave. But a couple of the interesting points about the story is that Jesus was with them during that whole time. And he says, we need a little faith. So what's interesting to me at least is that you can, about the only time that you'll ever have calm is in the eye of the storm. There will always be a storm. There's always storms that will come up. That Sea of Galilee was famous for having storms just come up. We just didn't know when they were coming. But what that story tells me is that you can expect it, and that you can tell yourself to know that you can carry that calmness, or you can call that calmness to you during this time.
There's a little more response to sort of how do you prepare for the unexpected sort of leaving situation. I think it goes in some way to what Greg said earlier. I mean, we all will leave what we're doing. We're all going to leave this life, should the Lord tarry. Right? So I think that's a reality. I think maybe part of what we're suggesting is that if you're developing people, in the big picture, you will leave them. Whether that's exactly when you plan to leave, or it's forthcoming.
Okay, so that's
Hello. So my question is related not to the unplanned leaving, but the planned leaving, and somewhat to the concept of succession. So if we have in mind this idea that our work really begins after we leave, and that the most important thing are the ideas we leave behind for those that follow us, how then do you know when to leave? Because it's not as if you have a specific task that you're completing or some definition of success that you're reaching. Well, maybe there is, you tell me. But how do you know when to leave and leave it in the hands of those people that will actually do the successful work?
respond to either both of you.
Well, you know, in my situation, I told my board I'd like to do this between 4 and 7 years. And it happened a little bit like you're describing. We were ready probably at year 3, but we were really ready at year 4. And I thought, oh man, maybe I could stay a little bit longer and put this off. But there was a sense that no, we're ready now. And you know, part of what I wanted to do was leave when the team was ready, that my successor was ready, and then that just we're cyclical enough in our industry where we're at a place where it was tilting up, not tilting down. So there were several things that spoke to the timing of that. But I think it's still the greater point, and I'm thinking about, I did this with my kids. I had this kind of lunchbox talk that I did as they were seniors in high school, and it was things I wish someone had told me before I went off to school. And I kind of fashioned that with this incoming CEO, things I wish someone had told me before I became the CEO. And it very much fits into things we're talking about now in terms of how do you equip others, how do you empower others, how do you try to, and it's not just to further what I did, but it's here's some tools in the toolbox you're going to need. And ties back into your earlier question about how does that change our thinking today? How do we leave this morning that, you know, one of them is just having this sense of gratitude and appreciation. Because part of the leaving is, I want to be able to be someone who really appreciates and thankful for the assignment I got, for the people that made that work. We don't make it work ourselves. There are a lot of people that get built alongside us. For looking back, I can look back and say, the Lord accompanied me on the journey. I'm really thankful for that. I'm telling the new CEO, hey, develop an attitude of gratitude where you're thankful for you guys. Thankful that you're at this college. Thankful that you have exposure to the people around you. Thankful that you have people that care about not just getting you through, but hey, I care about your life and where you're going. You know, there's a lot for all of us to really be thankful for. The nice thing about it, and what worries me the most, and why I really wanted our CEO to hear that, is the biggest danger to a successful company is success. And gratitude is an antidote for pushing ego away, pushing hubris away, because you start thinking, what has been built around me that makes this possible? And you begin to appreciate it's not just you, guy, and it's people that went before you, it's people that are alongside now, it's the Lord walking alongside. It's the ability to look forward and say, we need new, younger people to keep this thing going. We got to figure out how to train them, how to coach them, how to impart some of the stuff we know to them. So I think just that, I can be better at it, you can be better at it. How do we have this attitude of gratitude?
So fortunately, we've discussed on just a little bit over. So for those of you who have questions, you will come down and speak with the panel when we're done. I just want to leave you with one last thought. You may be wondering the conversation that Hans and I had that we referenced earlier, and when Randy Hans explained to me his kind of description of conversations from level 1 to level 3, level 1 being really superficial and kind of small talk, level 3 being really intimate, thought-provoking. So I just want to leave you with, I hope that this was a level 3 conversation for you all.